deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of a deceased person is known as a seance.
Hey.
But I have a skill you might like.
What the fuck?
Wanna try it? Chee-hee! 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 Chee-hee!
Alright, where do I even begin? Today, I've dug into one of the most popular horror TikTok sensations this year. He's been featured on Nuke's Top 5, he's been on Slaptam, he's been on every single popular aggregator that you can find. That's right, we're talking about Harry McLary, the TikTok sensation. He has ping pong balls falling, dogs barking, black figures, glowing eyes, everything. Open cabinets, the lights at the top of the stairs moving. It's all there. Let's dive in and discuss why this man's fake. This first video we're going to watch was posted on November 14th of 2020. It's not that bad. This one actually doesn't have a lot of flaws in it until you really look at it. The first thing being that Alexa kicks on while he's under the covers with his phone already recording. That's one thing. And we know that he didn't hear anything before because he says, "What the F?" just as that happens.
The deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of a deceased person is known as a seance.
Hey.
But I have a skill you might like.
What the fuck?
Wanna try it? Chee-hee! 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 Chee-hee!
Alright. The fact that this woman can sleep through her husband basically beating her in bed, a screaming box of impending doom along with flashing lights, then the door slams open. Oh, I can't. If I could sleep like that, I would be so happy in life. I wouldn't even feel the need to honk my horn. I would just have 18 kids. I would just be pumped. Ain't nobody sleeping like that anywhere. I'm sorry. Let's move on, because this video is obviously bullcrap. There's just no possible way. It's impossible. In fact, I think that she's not even in bed. I don't think that's her. Notice how the camera never goes to her face, and it sits there and always is below neck level. Who has a camera in bed anyway? That's just ready to go. Moving on. Stop. I wish this ghost would stop slamming the door over and over and over again. It is repetitive as hell. In fact, it is so repetitive that it happens to be the same sound repeated over and over and over again. And here, I'll go ahead and show you proof. Okay, so what I did was I took the original door slam. I took, well, one of them, and I copied it and I pasted it to see what it looked like on top of the other door slams. Well, it turns out that there's only one or two variations of that door slam, and the one that I happen to copy paste is the one that he used the most. And you can see that by the way that these waveforms match up. They're literally identical. They have the exact same timing, they have the exact same bursts of volume, and here's the thing. The only time that any of the peaks change is when there's other background noise, so whatever he overlaid it on top of. Now, let's listen to them copy pasted on top of each other multiple times throughout the clip. Well, would you look at that? It's the same exact sound edited in multiple times to sound like it's happening over and over and over again. Even small variances in air pressure or just drag on the door can make it lock at different times. It's too perfect. It's too exact every single time. It's edited. Now, let's move on to the next part of the clip.
Hello? Oh my god!
Well, first things first, I want to say that this effect of running up the stairs is actually very easy to do. I'm going to show you my own example of how that's done. And basically what it is combining an audio track of me running down the hall with me in a video standing at the end of the hall. It's that simple. Let's give it a watch, and then I'll explain one more thing about that. As you can see, it's not very difficult to do to create that effect. And we already know that he has experience in adding audio and layering that audio and copy-pasting that audio to create the effect he desires. Now, keep in mind, my job was very rushed. This is at a warehouse at work. I just did it in 5 minutes for the Ghost subreddit. But this is an example of how easy it is to manipulate something. Now, let's move on to the next one. I'm just going to talk through this clip because there's no sound on the TikTok, and also because it's so bad that there's nothing really worth seeing here. There's a shadow that moves past a window from off camera. Again, no reason that it couldn't be him or someone else. Also, the door opens in the back by an unseen force. Ooh, no. We just caught them faking their 2 previous videos, or at least modifying them for whatever reason. You're seeing that here too. Somebody easily could have been crouched down inside of that door frame, opening the door. There's no reason not to assume that with this one. Like, why were you even recording? Why was the camera placed perfectly to capture both of these events? We'll just let this one go. Okay, yes, I love this one, and this is not even close to the epitome of how bad these get. There are a couple things that are so important to point out in this video. Let's start with this. Alright, we have the door slamming, and the dog is totally calm. The dog is looking at his owner, his dad, like, what's going on? Like, this isn't weird. He knows that there's somebody that he trusts down there. Otherwise, he would probably be freaking out, with more reactionary movements. His tail would probably be wagging because he'd be nervous. It just doesn't make sense that he's just sitting there calm. Alright, hold it. Where did that ping pong ball go? There's a drain in the center of the room meant for plumbing, leaks, washer leaks, this and that. I mean, there are pipes all over the place. It makes sense. It's a basement. And why would there be a stray ping pong ball there by any means? Look at the shelves. There's like cans or something and a bottle of maybe bleach, but definitely nothing involving ping pong. There's no reason for a random ping pong ball, a singular ball, to be loose down there. And if it was, and it was tossed on the floor, you would see it. It would have rolled to the center of the floor because it's a slanted floor where that drain is. It's meant to let liquid go down it. It all has to pool into the middle. Where did the ball go? Well, his girlfriend or wife is completely MIA, and the door decides to slam open from the inside. Think about that. That sound was a hit on the inside of the door, and then it opened. The door was resting on the door frame. It wasn't all the way latched. So if she had slammed it, or somebody had slammed it from the inside, it would have closed it and then opened it up. No, it just opened while being hit forcefully from the inside. That makes no sense. That's another one of those sounds that's added for effect. Take a look at the next video. I think we're at the best one. I went ahead and I just used Nuke's clip on this because to sit there and do all the effects to separate the TikTok video, record it, add it as a blurred image in the background, it takes a lot of time and effort. So I might as well just take what Nuke has already done, and I'm going to use that as the basis for this video. So I just want to put a shout out. Thanks, Nuke. Really appreciate it. But now it's time for me to tear this one apart. Here we go again. His girlfriend, wife, or whatever, again, missing. And this video works linearly. It works through his house in a very specific order. And you'll see that throughout this video here. As you can see, the cabinet opened, okay? She could have done that remotely with a small string, fishing wire, this and that. That would be very easy to do. And then you hear her sprint down the hall to prep for the next phase of this video. And nope, lights do not explode when they burn out like that. And maybe in an overload, sure, and that is extremely rare. In this situation, it 100% did not explode, like the sound of the glass that he put in himself, and I can prove that as well. Let's start with getting a slow motion capture of that light exploding. Did you notice at this point that the glass had already broken, yet the light bulb is fully intact? So, when I saw that the first time, I thought to myself, well, that must be another added sound effect. Check this out. I was actually able to find the sound effect he used. It was a little bit higher. He had manually adjusted it a bit, so it wasn't so easy to find. But the sound effect I had was a slightly bit higher in the pitch and also a little bit shorter. So I drew out the time a little bit. I lowered the pitch just a couple notches. And you're going to go ahead and hear the exact same sound effect overlaid on top of his. Well, there you go. That's enough of that. There are a few more things to point out in this video, though, before we finish. There are also more videos after this one, but I'm not even going to take the time to go through them. I think at this point, we figured out that he's not legit. This guy is a hoaxer. He's just another one. These videos he's putting out are not real. But still, we have a few more things to look at in this video, so let's push through it. So here, I don't know exactly what this is. I'm not familiar with it, but for some reason his camera is shooting a white light and a blue light, and then it just switches to all blue. Why wouldn't he just stick with the normal light unless it's just for the fear factor? And the spooky eyes. Spooky eyes. And one major giveaway to his entire series being bunk is actually not the eyes. It's that reflection in that poster on the wall. Look at this up close. You're going to see that this is a square shape, and it's a couple inches wide by a couple inches tall. I did some looking on the internet about professional photography equipment, and one of those things is a mountable light. That's mounted on a DSLR. That's not an iPhone. That's not something you're just sitting on the couch using. You had your DSLR or your professional recording equipment in your lap on the couch, just playing with it, just fiddling with it when things just happen to go wrong. With the light attached? The what? I'm sorry? Yeah, no. Now, we take an even closer look at these eyes. It's hard to tell in this, but they're actually not connected to anything. There's nothing behind them. There's no humanoid shape. There's nothing. It's just two quote-unquote eyes that were most likely edited in. Just like everything else in his videos. Edited. One last thing before we go after this. Well, we found the girlfriend and we found the dog. The dog was laying on the bed the whole time. You could actually see it if you had paid attention earlier in the video. That's where he got the reflection of the eyes in the first place. He took the reflection of the eyes, edited it in, enlarged it a little bit, put it in the other doorway. And his girlfriend's been missing again. She's literally the one on the bed, or right behind in the corner, that's slowly standing up. And you could tell by her body shape and her figure size. Just her. This is all total nonsense. This guy is a total scam. He's a total fake, total fraud. And he's raking in all this money for views and getting advertisements on TikTok. It's kind of crazy. Hopefully I was able to open up some eyes and show you guys that, like, not everything you see on the internet is real when it comes to ghosts. Especially ghosts. Of all things, everything normal should be ruled out first. All the factors. If there's anything that stands to be normal, that's probably what it is. But when you see something like this, and it looks believable and it's fun and entertaining, I totally understand why it's easy to fall for. But it's not real. Time to put the nail in the coffin on this and just say, hey, let's get it together, you know? But I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch all of this. There are more videos that he's uploaded in this time. He has lights swinging that are very obviously manipulated. They're only the ones that are reachable by a normal human hand are the ones swinging. He has one where he uses a ghost app and it sees a doll and highlights it as a spectrogram or whatever. You know, that one that has like the effects behind it. It's just detecting the doll and it doesn't know that it's a human or not because it doesn't measure distance. It just says, hey, that looks like a human shape, and that human shape could be 20 feet away. It could be 6 inches. It doesn't know. So it records that as being a human or as a person, or in this case, as a ghost. But glad I was able to hopefully put some minds to rest, and I really hope everybody that saw this really enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be doing more of these in the future. It takes a bit to edit. It takes a lot of effort to put everything together and compile it all. And, you know, I don't pay someone to do my editing for me. I do it for myself. If you want to see more, please let me know. And thanks for tuning in.